All right, we're back and we're going to try a card trick under test conditions. We won't use the full deck. To keep this totally honest, we'll just use a few cards. Can you give them a quick mix for me? Just mix them up. And here's what I'd like you to do, just so you know it's fair. If you want to mix them a little more, you can. It's fine. There's no way I could know the order of these cards. And what I'd like you to do, I'll look away, take any one out, and show it to the camera. Show it around, don't show it to me. And slide it back inside. And please give them another overhand shuffle, just to keep it really fair. Now I'm going to deal cards onto the table, and as I do, when you see your card, I want you to scream stop. But don't scream it out loud, just scream it in your mind. Just in your mind. So scream it, but only in your mind. How did I do?
Very well.
All right. That was big. Pointer power is a card trick that you can do under test conditions. It's a very little known principle called the pointer principle. Believe it or not, in a deck of cards, certain cards have a direction. That may not make any sense, so let me explain. With the 6 cards that I suggest you use in the book, the same 6 cards we'll use now. These 6 cards have a direction in them. That is to say, the configuration of the suits, in our case, the 9 spades here, 5 of those spades point in the direction toward me while only 4 point in the other way. I could tell whether this card is pointing this way or this way just by that middle spade, how it's pointing. The same is true with the Ace of Hearts. It's kind of obvious here. The heart is pointing toward me, now it's pointing toward you. So, I've lined up the spade and the heart so they both point in the same direction. But look at the 5 of hearts. You've got 5 hearts here. It's a little more subtle now. But that middle heart functions the same way as the others. 3 point this way and only 2 point that way. Club, same way. That middle pip is pointing down toward me, so I know it's in the same direction. 2 of these spades are pointing toward me. I know it's the same. And of course the 7 of diamonds, a bit more subtle. You would have it in one corner or the other. That would be pointing toward you, but with the diamond closest to me, all are pointing the same way. So, if you have all 6 of these cards arranged so that they're all pointing the same direction, doesn't matter which direction, let's say toward me, you might have them on top of the deck. And you can begin with a false shuffle, as we already explained, and then say, I'll tell you what, a trick under test conditions with just a few cards. Now with these cards, you shuffle the cards in this overhand fashion and you can invite a spectator to do the same thing. As long as a spectator shuffles in an overhand fashion, there's no risk of her turning that packet or turning some of the cards one way and not the other. So as long as all of them are together, you're totally fine. Now, all I do is take the cards back and say, please take out any card I don't want to see. And of course, you've been so fair up to this point because you shuffled. You apparently took 6 random cards out of the deck. Then she shuffled. Then you spread the cards without knowing any of the values. And she takes one out. And as she looks at that card, Ace of Hearts in this case, all I do is subtly turn the deck end for end. So now only her card is going to be oriented in the other direction. And I can say to her with my back turned, please slide the card back in the deck, and she does. And then I shuffle a few times, still with my head turned, and I can say to her, and you shuffle. And of course she does. And now as I take the cards back, I'm going to know which card she picked because I'm going to know it's the only one not oriented in the same direction. So I see a 9 of spades toward me, a 5 of hearts toward me, a 3 of spades toward me, an Ace of Hearts facing the other way, 5 toward me, 7 toward me, and I can say, I'm getting the impression you chose the Ace of Hearts. And build it up dramatically. It really is a card trick done under impossible conditions where they control every constraint and you still get the card. That's pointer power.